The neural implant in Marcus Ven's skull had been malfunctioning for 3 days, but he'd ignored the warnings. Pride had a way of drowning out reason, especially for men like him, men who believed that strength meant dominance, that power justified cruelty. Lieutenant Kira Nomura had been assigned to his security detail aboard the Meridian Station, a deep space research facility orbiting a dying star. She was slight, with sharp features and darker skin that seemed to absorb the cold fluorescent light of the station's corridors. Marcus had mistaken her quietness for weakness, her patience for submission. He'd been testing her for weeks. Crude comments. Invasive stares. Physical intimidation disguised as accidents in narrow hallways. Each time, she'd simply stepped aside, her expression unreadable, her dark eyes reflecting something that Marcus was too foolish to recognize as warning. The breaking point came in the observation deck, where the skeletal remains of the star cast crimson shadows across the reinforced glass. They were alone, or so Marcus thought. He'd cornered her near the viewport, his bulk blocking her exit, his breath heavy with recycled air and synthetic alcohol. "You think you're better than me?" he'd snarled, grabbing her shoulder. "You think that fancy combat training makes you special?" Kira had remained perfectly still. "Remove your hand." "Or what?" That's when he'd done it. A savage backhand across her face, calculated to humiliate, to break. The crack of cartilage echoed in the empty deck. Blood streamed from her nose, dark rivulets catching the star's dying light. "There," Marcus had said, satisfied. "Now you know you're." He never finished the sentence. Kira moved like liquid mercury, like something not quite human. Her right hand shot forward, not toward him, but toward the neural interface port behind her ear. With a twist and a soft click, something fundamental changed in the air around them. Marcus felt it first in his implant, a searing digital scream that made his vision white out. When it cleared 3 seconds later, his left arm was gone. Not cut. Not torn. Simply gone, severed at the shoulder with cauterized precision, the smell of burned flesh mixing with ozone. His arm lay on the deck 2 meters away, still twitching, the fingers curling and uncurling like a dying spider. He couldn't even scream yet. The shock was too complete. Kira stood exactly where she'd been, blood still flowing from her broken nose, but her eyes were different now. They glowed with a faint amber light, the telltale sign of a synchronized weapons system. Her neural implant wasn't malfunctioning. It was military grade, linked to the station's defensive grid, and she just activated it. "You should have read my personnel file more carefully," she said quietly, her voice distorted by the blood in her nasal cavity. Project Vesper. Neurokinetic combat integration. 27 confirmed hostile neutralizations. 0 failures. The pain hit Marcus then, a tidal wave of agony that dropped him to his knees. The station's medical AI was already responding, deploying emergency drones, but they weren't for him, they were hovering around Kira, scanning her injuries. Self-defense protocol confirmed, the AI announced dispassionately. Lethal force authorized. Aggressor neutralized. 53 seconds. That's how long it had taken from the moment Marcus broke her nose to the moment he lost his arm. The station's black box would show it all, his assault, her measured response, the precision of a weapon system designed for warfare repurposed for justice. As the medical drones escorted Kira away to repair her nose, Marcus remained on the floor, cradling his stump, watching his detached arm finally stop moving. Security personnel arrived, their faces grim but unsurprised. This wasn't the first time violence had been answered with overwhelming force. It was simply the first time Marcus Venn had been stupid enough to attack someone who was, quite literally, a living weapon. The dying star continued its slow collapse beyond the viewport, indifferent to human cruelty and its consequences. In the void, nobody could hear you scream, but on the Meridian Station, everyone would hear about the man who learned that breaking someone's nose proved nothing except his own ignorance. And the station AI, in its infinite mechanical wisdom, flagged his personnel file with a simple notation, lesson learned. Permanently.